Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I really want to have one of the most transparent conversations with you guys. Um, I feel like I pride myself internally on being transparent, but it's a very hard job. One, because you're leaving room for people to make assumptions, to believe whatever, and it just gets very hard. But I know that my story and who I am is way bigger than me. And yeah, like I just have a lot to say. um and yeah, hopefully it helps someone. So, whew, where do I even begin? I think I really want to just talk about knowing that you have a purpose inside of you, have a drive to be this big person that impacts the world. I remember my early 20s, like early, I'm in my mid 20s now, but I'm still young. But I remember my early 20s, I would always pray this particular prayer of just asking God to help me to be able to touch lives all around the entire world. Being able to, travel around the world, teaching women how to love themselves and teaching women about cleanliness and just a lot of different things. And when I look back at the woman that I was praying for, I wasn't even her. Didn't even help myself in those areas. I wasn't intentional or consistent with loving myself or, knowing my worth, all of the things that I wanted to do or help pour into other women. I wasn't even pouring into myself. So how could I possibly pour into someone else when I didn't even feel those for myself? I just remember like when I was like in high school and I used to dream so big, y'all. Like I was a person that was like, I'm gonna live in New York. I'm getting emotional because I just always knew that I was gonna be something great. I always would say, I'm gonna live in New York. I'm gonna be a fashion stylist. Like I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be doing that. Like I've always dreamed so big. And I just remember getting into a relationship and giving that all to someone, giving my all, like all to someone. Oh my God. And not even having anything for myself. I literally, kid you not, this person was God in my life. Like he was. I put him before anything. I put him before myself. And I just started to go down this spiral of just self-neglect. I went down a spiral of just internally abusing myself, not taking care of myself, not loving myself, not respecting myself. And I just remember being in a very unsafe space, and not necessarily because of anyone, but just because of myself, just leaving myself accessible to any and everything. And so much trauma came out of that relationship. But I didn't even see it as trauma then. Like I knew that within that relationship, it was unhealthy, but not to the extent that I know now. During that time when you're young, you don't know, like, this isn't feeding you, this isn't helping you. You just are going with it, you're just loving and supporting, and yeah. And I lost myself. I lost the young girl that dreamed big, that went for the stars, that would go, would believe that she could be, that she could touch and impact so many people. And so I was in that cycle for a while, thinking that, I was putting God before it. I was thinking that I just believed that I was good. Like I believed that this relationship was serving God. I believed that, I was serving God. I was really just, being, what God called me to be. I believed that I was going to be a wife, a mother, nothing that I've ever dreamed of, but just falling in that role because I was so in love and I just wanted that so badly that I just put who I was and everything that was of me to the back burner to make sure that I saw this love through. Yeah. I just remember being so unhappy. So unhappy. It was like, I believed I was happy temporarily because that person made me happy, but like when I wasn't around that person or I didn't talk to that person, I was just so dead inside. I had no drive. I really didn't even have motivation to exist. I just remember wanting to go after God so much because I was just like, God, I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm at my lowest that I've ever been. And yeah, I remember one day I would do like everything for this person. So I remember traveling to go see this person, and I remember a couple stories, but one of the stories was traveling to go see this person, told my mom that this person picked me up but didn't. I actually drove to go see this person, and I was on my way back, driving back home, and it was raining and it was dark, and I was driving and I kind of like dozed off to sleep because it was early in the morning. I was trying to get up, like I was trying to like leave early and get back home, and I kind of dozed off and I spun out of control in a ditch, and I will never forget that story. And me, instead of calling the police or I called this person and I said, hey, I just fell in a ditch. He said, what do you want me to do about it? And I was like, like as a young person that didn't know what to do, I mean, I just looked to this person to fulfill me in everything. And this person just was kind of like, I don't care. Like that's how it perceived to me, like figure it out. And I just remember just feeling so like low, and I couldn't call my mom. I called 911. They couldn't locate me. Like I literally had nobody. And I just remember crying. And I just remember just to pray. And it wasn't a long prayer. It wasn't a real like, God help me. Like it was just like, Lord, I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna call you on your name and hopefully you come through for me. And that was my prayer. And I just remember this man coming to save me, and it was a white man. He was very, very nice. And he said, God told me to turn around. Mind you, when I spun into the ditch, multiple people passed me by. Multiple people. And he was like, God told me to turn around and help you. And y'all, I literally, from that day, never ever questioned that God wasn't real. Never ever questioned, because imagine this. The person you love doesn't help you. 911, which is supposed to help you, can't help you. Who else can you call? I can't call my parents. I just leaned on God. And in that moment, I will never forget that moment. And I will never ever forget God. Yeah, it was the most scariest day of my life. I thought no one would ever find me in that moment. I know I didn't wait that long, but in that moment of waiting, it just felt like eternity. Like it felt like it was over for me. I just knew that like I wanted to be after God, but I wanted to continue with this relationship. So it's like I wanted to continue with this relationship but be after God. And it just was a spiral of turmoil. And not even to say that this person was a bad person. We were just super young and we didn't know any better. And not to bash this person at all either. For me, it was just, I was just so deeply broken. And I didn't even know that, I didn't even know. In that moment, didn't even know. Didn't know I desired love so badly that I would just take whatever I was given. I was so angry too. I was so angry. It was ridiculous. Like, I would just be so upset, rageful. I would always say that 0 to 100 anger, where it was like, if I didn't get my way or if things didn't align the way that I wanted it to or expected it to, it was just like I saw red. I saw things burning down. I saw myself physically burning things down. Like, it was just crazy. Not even realizing that was the issue. You know, I knew it was a problem, but didn't. I just remember, like, being so upset that, like, one time me and this person were driving, my ex were driving, and I snatched the wheel and I was ready for both of us to die. Like, I was crying for help, and I would even have dreams of me screaming, and literally, like, no one could hear me. I would have those dreams all the time. All the time. Of just me screaming to the top of my lungs and just, no one would help. It would just be like this. Like, it was always that. I can go on and on about my story and, like, where I was in my life. But as I continue to just put one step in front of the other, and I didn't even touch on half of the stuff that I went through, but just putting one step in front of the other and continuing to just try every day. I believe in prayer. I believe that people were praying for me. So many times I wanted to, like, go, like, leave this earth. But I'm here. And I said that all to say that, like, getting a job in Chicago and going there and seeing it and being able to be around it was just so powerful for me, because it was like I could dream again. It was like I really was able to see, like, what my purpose was again. Like, I feel like for so long it just got so confusing. But, like, going into Chicago and, like, seeing, it was just like it was possible for me. And I know that Chicago is my end all be all, and I know it's not my, like, but it was just like a wake-up call to realize that, like, I can dream again. I can be that girl that moves to New York City and, like, chase her dreams and, like, impacts and touches the world. And I will share my story a little bit more of, like, what I was going through and, like, all of those things. And it's gonna be very hard because I still care for people and their, like, I would always want to protect people and not really, like, hurt them. But I do believe that, like, my story will touch someone else's story. Or touch someone else. So I know I need to, like, talk, but yeah, I don't want this to be long. I just wanted to open up just a little bit, and hopefully y'all can connect with this. This was a hard one, but I know that it's bigger than me. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. Don't even know if I'm gonna post this. If I get the strength to, please be gentle, because this is a hard one.